One extraordinary group of animals rivals us as masters of Earth. They ruled the ancient sea, and they were the first creatures to venture onto land. And overcoming unimaginable obstacles, they would even take to the air and spread across Earth as conquerors. Those that left the sea could invent a whole toolkit with which to conquer the land. Tasting, sensing, grasping, and finally winging their way to dominance. The first land conquerors took to the land like the little pill bugs of today. The first animal had arrived on land. And there turned out to be advantages to living on land. There's more oxygen in air than in seawater. The arthropods just had to find a way to extract it. Through the process of evolution, these flaps that worked well in water were relocated inside the scorpion. There, oxygen from air could transfer directly to the blood. Yet again, the arthropod body plan proved its versatility, adapting an old body part to conquer a new ecological niche. In a separate land invasion, ancestors of the millipede developed a special respiratory system to supply their long segmented bodies with oxygen. On the underside of its body begins a series of reinforced tubes, adapted from the exoskeleton itself. These tubes open directly to the outside air and draw oxygen into their bodies. A similar type of turbocharged system would play a key role in future arthropod conquests. Now that they could breathe, the conquerors moved inland for the first time. And the plants here were a lot harder to digest than algae. But while living land plants didn't offer easy nourishment, decaying plants and dead arthropods were a different matter. Dead material, broken down by bacteria and fungi, detritus, was a lot easier to digest. Over a few million years, the invasions produced a thriving community of arthropods adapted to life on land as detritivores. Long before weaving webs to trap prey, ancient spiders aggressively pursued anything that moved. Arthropods encountered rich hunting grounds submerged below water, fresh water. Stalking its prey much like a cat, a dragonfly larva. The newt is among its victims. the dragonfly larva pumps water over its gills. When it needs to move quickly, it uses the pump for jet propulsion. But freshwater predation is literally child's play for this dragonfly and some of its arthropod cousins. It is about to move into the adult stage of life. When a predatory larva prepares to leave the pond, it reenacts a pivotal moment in the story of life. Through metamorphosis, it turns not only into an adult, but into an animal capable of entering yet another realm of Earth. A damselfly emerges from its freshwater exoskeleton, discarding the tools it used so successfully in the pond. Hidden beneath its underwater coat is a new tool that will define its life outside the pond, a set of appendages capable of miracles. When arthropods developed wings, animals flew for the first time. Dragonflies are little changed from the fossil record. Striving against the pull of gravity, they live graceful lives on the wing. Hovering, making effortless acrobatic turns, they are unparalleled aerial hunters. They even mate in the air. As the male protects her from above, the female carefully deposits her eggs into the pond. Each dragonfly species has a slightly different mating flight. Even during this delicate pairing, males fight battles for territory. In dragonflies, the arthropod body plan demonstrates its supreme adaptability, a single animal that dominates both water and air in different phases of its life. The insect wing is an engineering marvel. It's reinforced by stiff supporting veins, which are thickest where the wing's leading edge slices through the air. Flight turned out to be such an effective adaptation that today, more than 3/4 of all the animal species in the world are flying insects. Flying enabled insects to explore and to conquer every corner of the terrestrial world. Arthropods had risen from the sea of their birth into the air. But the arms race between hunters and the hunted also moved into the air. The miracle of flight did not protect insects from their enemies. Another arthropod, the spider, developed a gossamer net to catch prey on the wing. We are surrounded by hordes of crawling, running, scuttling, and flying arthropods. These little creatures shape the face of the world for all of us. In fact, we couldn't live without them. Insects provide essential services that keep the machinery of life running, including a role as nature's recyclers. They preside like undertakers over the grim passing of life. But they also play a vital role in the birth of some of the most beautiful living things on Earth. Arthropods are drawn to flowers, the showy reproductive billboards of plants and trees. As they dine on tasty nectar, their bodies pick up pollen, which will be carried to other flowers. Acting as a pollen delivery service, insects provide flowering plants with an efficient way to reproduce and multiply. In turn, countless insects earn their living from flowering plants. Without insects, many familiar foods would cease to exist. Arthropods conquered the sea, the land, and the air. Much of the beauty and grandeur around us is due to their success.